Hello. Today we'll be sharing a segment from Toshio Okada's Psychopathic Life Advice column. My problem is that even though I achieved financial independence, retire early, in my 20s, I'm so bored that it's unbearable. I made a fortune through investing and can now live comfortably without working. Normally, this would seem like an enviable story. But Okada-san. Here, we see the pitfalls that only those who succeed fall into. For those who found joy in winning itself, what should they do after winning? I've gained my freedom, so why does my life feel so empty? What does someone who has finished their career at a young age need? Is rest? Or should we go back and compete again? Let's take a look at Okada's answer together.
Good evening. This is the free version of Toshio Okada, right? Last Sunday, I did a live stream. We'll be releasing the video about a week late. But what kind of content is it? Well, this time we're doing it once a month. This is the Listener Mail Corner, a life advice column for psychopaths. Right. Well, the things we'll cover in the free section are: I have 3 questions, and the first one is: assets worth tens of millions of yen, that is, tens of millions of yen. I created it in my 20s, and now I'm living abroad. I'm living a comfortable and carefree life, but, well, I'm incredibly bored, in my 20s. A consultation from a man. The second one is about tokens. And Trump coin, etc., well, that individual. The era has arrived where one's own reputation can be turned into currency and issued. They've come, but what do you think? Right, it's more of a consultation for people in their 40s, or rather. Is that a question? And the third one is: if my child was that poorly behaved child. If I think about it, I wonder if I can give them love. I'm worried because I'm currently trying to conceive. A question from a woman in her 30s. It boils down to these 3 things. Yes, I am answering. Psychopath. It's a life counseling session, which I do once a month. But, well, the latest, the video will be released in about a month. Well, that's the latest consultation, from June. We'll discuss it again, around the beginning of June. Since it will be made available for free, I would like to ask Toshio Okada a question. If there's anything you want to say, then yes. Yes, in the video description. It's through the letter submission form, the 3rd one in May. Maybe by the 4th week. If you send in a letter, it will be selected. There are cases like that. For those who are hired, we're giving away some lovely original stickers as a gift. So, today, the free video starts here. Good evening. It's time for Toshio Okada. Today is Sunday, May 3rd. This is the 605th installment. We're already in the middle of Golden Week. Laughing, since it's in the middle, maybe you can watch the live stream. There may be few people who do that. There are fewer comments than usual. I kind of expected this to happen. Tonight's theme is psychopaths. This is a life advice video. It's listed in the video description. The letters were submitted through the message submission form. I'll answer your question. Well, the feelings of the person seeking advice, and, well, what can I say? I can't empathize with your kind heart. Because it's my type, well, just by logic. I tend to answer, so, well, he's a psychopath, you know. It's like saying, I'm just like that person. I do it by hand. That part is, if you get caught, well, I'm sorry. That's right. Difficult things and things that go against common sense. They might say that too, but well, I'll be careful. June, May, and June. Yes, for those who are considering hiring through consultation, well, my childhood photos. This is the 2nd set of stickers. I think this will be the end of the series. I'll give this to you as a gift. Thank you. Okay, so before we begin, let's have a little chat. Last week, what we talked about last week. Yes, it's the new Pupel movie. I've been wanting to see it. Yes, I did. I bought it properly on Amazon. I also watched Pupel 1, and then I saw it in the movie theater. Hey, I also went to see Pupel 2. Well, snorts, right, I'll give my thoughts and evaluation next week. Let me summarize the anime story. I want to talk about it, so I'll talk about it then. Well, to put it simply, the conclusion I felt in point 1 was: it's practically flawless. Wow, that's amazing. I thought about it, but I cried. You wouldn't do that, right? Yeah. It's not like I'd cry. It's not about whether it's a good movie or not. So, however, well, I guess I'll choose one of them next week. I'm going to talk about it, but I just saw this movie. Right? This is a movie called Succubus. That's right. And then there's the succulent check. Those who have it have already noticed, and everyone is. I wonder why, all movie buffs. I've been saying it, but it's not easy to notice. It seems like there are many people who don't have it. For now, it's fine even if we do it during this stream. It's okay if the broadcast ends. It's for tomorrow, right? Please make a reservation for a time when you can go. Go see it as soon as possible. Please do. It's better to go without any prior knowledge. Okay. I'll just watch the trailer for now. Right, I went to see it without gathering any information beforehand. I think it would be more interesting that way. However, well, only once a year. People who don't watch movies, for example. That's a bit tough. I don't understand. You're someone who enjoys watching movies, right? It is definitely a movie for people like that. But anyway, wow, this has been happening since the 2020s. I think it was the greatest movie ever. I was so moved by it. And the original author is Stephen King. Stephen King's, you see. I've already read the original work, so what is this? Is that not the case? Let's delve a little deeper. I'm thinking of doing it next week, so please look forward to it. So, you're asking me to do this? Right, well, that's what we'll be talking about next week. It seems like Popel isn't really a source of support at all. That's what I think. The reason is, we'll talk about it next week, right? And the people in the free slots. But I won't be able to see it until the week after next. May. We spoke on the 10th and it was free on May 17th. Because it will be released. Until then, Popel. If they do it, it might turn into that kind of support. I don't know, but in terms of content, I'm not really sure about that. But, well, as for next week, we're also planning to talk about the second movie, The Villainess Who Wears Prada. And, also, this time too, the Miyazaki and Anohino Support Fund, as asked in the Q&A. Is that so? The support fund for the Hinoko movement? The story and other things are mixed together with that anime. I'd like to talk about movies. That's what it comes down to. That Okamon and Zenichi event in May. It will look something like this. Today. Hey, Psychopath Life Advice is in 5 months, next week. We'll be talking about anime and movies in 2 weeks. Stars who won the Priza Award. A very thick book by a man named Turkle. Yes, it's a 600-page book. Good. There is something called War. And, well, this, it's on sale as a new book. Since there isn't one, we have no choice but to search for it at the location. But, well, if it's now everyone, I don't think we'll make it in time. Please wait for that story time. We will wage war. And May 24th is. I'm a monthly hunter. Well, I think I can finally finish Volume 2. So, May 31st is the day for the coffee shop. So, it rotates. Yes, well, little by little, the interior as well. In the sense of laughter evolving. I'd appreciate it if you could think about it. But I wonder if we'll make it in time. Well, there are various preparations to be made. I'm thinking about it, but right now, personally, I'm finding this project quite enjoyable. And I'm excited to do it soon, laughing. Hi. A good war is, well, this good. It's a war, but Japan. The translation of the word is good, in hiragana. That's the key point, isn't it? In other words, for America, World War II was. It was a good war, but well, something like Nazism. A good war in which democracy won against fascism. But was that really the case? It seems to include questioners as well, so it should be written in hiragana. So that's how it is. Well then, these free streams will be available for 1 week each. Later, well, about a week later each of them. From 6 p.m. on Sunday, there will be a free live stream around here. So, those of you watching this for free right now, rather than doing it on this schedule, please expect a week's delay. Shall we begin? First of all, this is a question from someone participating in our free seminar. Here we go. Let's go. Mr. Rifolia, male, in his 20s. I achieved FIRE, financial independence, retire early, in my 20s and I'm happy. No, that's not it. FIRE, well, you mean early retirement, right? Financial independence. I am probably fortunate. I think life is very boring and fun. My problem is that I don't have it. My friend is at the end of the year and during Oban. They got together, and I've even lived with my boyfriend. I did. There was no overtime at work, and I was in my 20s and had an average salary. Higher than at the start of the year, and problems with workplace relationships. There wasn't any. I saved and invested during my 20s. And it exceeded 4 digits, so, well, that means tens of millions. I've surpassed that point, so now I'm looking for something fun to do. So I quit my job and went to live a carefree life abroad. Yes, but new experiences are refreshing. However, deep down I was awake, and I had no goals or anything. I feel that this life is boring. Perhaps because of this, my friends are excited about the new products at the convenience store. I want to eat. I'm broke because I spent too much money on gacha. I'm so envious of those who have things they want to do. I've cried alone many times. Why do I have no desire to do anything? That was my concern. I wrote it in the question form. The 4 types of diagnostic results were determined to follow a pattern. That's what you said. It was a letter. Rifolia is a man in his 20s, right? I think he's a typical commander type. Well, the rule type is laugh. I don't have these kinds of worries, and also 4-digit numbers. Just because you've saved some money doesn't mean you can relax. Right, well, what should I say? Overseas travel. I wouldn't do something as terrible as just playing around, laughs. But why? To tell if it's a command type. It's not just about boasting without any sense of shame. Command type people are the ones who win those big battles. If you win, you'll start saying things like this. Right. Victory is such an empty thing. Even if you win, you're almost guaranteed to say that. And this, too, is, well, the end of what you might call words. That's what they call the post-coital clarity phase, isn't it? Laughs. Well, just do what you want to do and release it. So, I'm in the post-coital refractory period. However, that's sage mode. Usually, I find a new battlefield very quickly. Find a battle and ignite that passion. But this person, I feel like I've won for some reason. I was so happy that I just quit while I was ahead. Right. And, well, after thinking about it carefully, I think you'll understand if you give it to me, but Miss Fayoria, in her 20s. This is the best place to invest, as it has recently exceeded 4 digits. It must have been fun. The most fun. In other words, you have to work hard, persevere, and win. You're the kind of person who only enjoys winning. That's the essence of humanity, laughs, isn't it? After that, well, if you're the one who won. I live and play like this and go abroad. So, I guess I'm a winner then. It's perfectly normal that you don't find it fun at all. Laughs, you have to put in that effort, endure and win. I'm the type of person who doesn't find anything enjoyable in life. Therefore, there are people who can only enjoy winning. What would happen if someone like that achieved FIRE, financial independence, retire early? That's exactly what this case study is about. Yes. Probably someone like this. Right now there are lots of people in the southeast. That country in Asia with low prices, even now, is Japan. It has become a country with low prices. I think there are a lot of them, laughs. But, since everyone is saying it's empty, what percentage was it again? I think about 80% are going back to Japan. That's right. And, laughter, sigh, the remaining 20% are. If you're wondering whether I'm living a normal life, I can't go home, laughs, I just can't go home. And so, sound of gasping, and. Why did you get away with winning like that? But to be honest, we won, but next. I might lose if I compete against them. I got away with it after winning. That's why I'm scared now. I can't compete. That's what I have right now. I'm trying to slowly increase my 4-digit fortune through investment. I think they're in the middle of doing it. And that. If the numbers were increasing properly, this consultation wouldn't be so necessary. I don't think so. In other words, they're winning. Because it's in the middle of something. What is it? Investments exceeding 4 figures are still continuing. If that were the case, it wouldn't be surprising if it was in the 5 digits. But the fact that it's not written down means that. Well, that. I had the experience of winning a lot. After that, I haven't had a life where I've won big. That's what I think. So even if you start something, you have to move on to the next thing. I don't know if we can win or not. I think it's related to the matter. Because of this anxiety, I'm doing something fun now. I quit my job to search and wandered around overseas. In terms of life, you're running away from the challenge. Right. So, the question is, what do we do now? But, well, I only have one word to say, really. Well, what can I say? I'm going to say something irresponsible. But I really do think that the best thing to do is to return to being a gambler once again. I think that's a good idea. Go to a casino. Okay, go ahead and suck up all your money. And then, starting over from scratch is probably the best option. I think so. I went to the casino and won. If so, I'll continue playing as a gambler. I think so, but if you go to a casino. So, you're going to do 10 hacks, right? And, well, just enough money to barely make it back to Japan. So, first I'll go smoke some maizai-san. That. I wonder why, but I feel a little more motivated. I think that's probably the case, but, you know, I'm feeling pretty exhausted right now. I guess I've just piled up too much. It's a treasure, you know, the 10-man manga. Please read volume 18. So, volume 18 of the manga 10 is about a genius gambler playing mahjong. Akaji is a genius. Well, I got Alzheimer's. I thought I had no choice but to die. But then my time came. I felt like I wasn't myself anymore, and I couldn't recognize myself anymore. I'm dying, so, I'll do it myself. You know, like putting poison into your own blood vessels. I activated the parking mechanism, and well, I risked my own life. They try to stand up. And then former comrades trying to stop him. But, well, it usually continues for about 3 or 4 volumes. It's the big climax, but in the middle of it all. Yes, Yaza, well, he was young. The sound of parenthood comes out and they work hard. You're trying to stop it, aren't you? And you really? They ask, aren't you afraid of dying? But Akaji also said, that's a shame. It's scary, but that's only about 3%. And that 3% of anxiety is already. They say things like, there's nothing we can do about it. So why did the Yaza boss do that? If you say you can say it, then conversely, you should act now.